Hello, my name is Frederick Webb and I represent Frederick Webb Digital Marketing here in Round Rock, Texas. And I want to cover with you 4 things you can do to improve your online presence on any attempt that you're trying to make to get more traffic, to rank higher in the search engines, that kind of thing. This video is about 4 things you can do to improve your online presence fast. So I'm going to turn my attention to the screen here where I've prepared these issues for you. The first one is naming. How you name your business is very important, and I'll go into that in just a second. The next one is list and claim. You need to go on a campaign to list your business in the appropriate directories and to claim your business listing profiles on sites like Yelp and Google My Business and TripAdvisor and the like. The next one I want to cover with you is reviews. Reviews and their importance and how to control reviews, reduce your negatives, and what you should do if you should ever catch a negative review. And the last one is your website. So naming, list and claim, reviews, and your website. If you address these 4 issues I'm going to point out to you, you will be able to improve your online presence fast. So into naming, with the way that you name your business, you need to have a naming strategy that aligns with the keyword that you know people would search to find products and services like yours. I use the example, I have a client who came to me with a lawn service and was in need of being able to get more traffic and to rank higher in the search engines because he had recognized that people do not search past the first page on Google. So really, there's a joke that says, where do you hide a dead body? It's on the second page of Google because nobody actually goes to anything more than the first page. That's just human behavior today. So what we did, his business, he's a landscaper. He named his business Adams Tree Service and Landscaping or something to that effect, and he wasn't catching any traction or any attention. And so what I suggested to him is that we focus on the keywords that people would type for his business and include that in the name, and then decide that it should be Adams Lawn Service, so that in the search of someone typing lawn service or searching for lawn service, just because lawn service was in his domain name is going to help him to be amongst the first of the search results. But we took it a step further and we added the city. And so it became Adams Lawn Service Austin.com. And that benefits in so many ways because now the keyword and the location that you're targeting are inside of your domain name. And so it's not a big stretch to expect that the Google algorithms would pick you up. And he has benefited since that and is still benefiting. And so the way that you name your business, you need to align it with the keyword that you expect people to search in trying to find your type of product or service, and you need to rank on the first page in order to actually even matter. So having the keyword as a part of the name or the domain name and the city is just perfect. You may not be able to get them both, but you definitely follow what I'm saying, that sometimes you may be endeared to a particular name you have chosen, but if that name's not going to drive traffic to bring you money, you might want to reconsider naming your business something that aligns with that keyword and that city. So in those cases where you're not able or willing to change your business's name, you can still include the keyword alignment in the domain name that you choose. And at the very least, you can have a tagline that will allow you to rank or, yes, be in alignment with keywords that work for your industry. So this is the section on naming. And so what I've explained to you here is the importance of naming and how that can work with you or against you sometimes when it comes to being in line with the search terms that people type and the results that Google has in its directory to serve up as a result. The next section that we're going to cover is list and claim. As you'll see here on the screen, list and claim is this second of the 4 points that you need to cover. So after you've addressed the naming issue, let's deal with listing and claiming. Listing and claiming has to do with establishing your business's online identity. So the first thing you want to do, as you'll see here on the screen, is you want to go into directories, and you want to be able to list your business in all the relevant directories that are available, whether they be Manta or there are a number of them. I'll leave a link below that says business directories, and you can click that link and I'll provide you with a list of the directories that you need to list your business in to start this process of improving your online presence. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you have claimed your Yelp listing. And when you are asked information about your company, always remember that your NAP is what's most important. Your name, address, and phone number, referred to as the NAP. And everywhere that you list your business, you want to make sure you do it exactly the same way every time. You work, your business is located on Boulevard, something Boulevard, then you want to make sure that if you choose to spell Boulevard all the way out, then you need to do that everywhere you list your business. Don't flip to abbreviating it to BLVD sometimes and then sometimes, because it's not going to serve you. Why? Because the bot that Google sends out to gather this NAP information is going to consider it a mismatch and discard it. You want to be consistent across the board. So if you spell Boulevard, for example, all the way out, then do that every time and everywhere you list your business. Now, which brings me to this Yelp issue. On Yelp, you want to make sure that you list your business's NAP correctly, and you want to make sure that you categorize yourself properly. Now, Yelp will offer you advertising and promotion programs that I would say you have to be really careful with, because I've had a number of clients come back and say, hey, they hit me with a $300 or $600 or $900 bill because they said they sent me leads. I didn't get any. So I would be very careful about doing any open campaigns on Yelp, maybe a limited number of days so you can limit the number of dollars that they're charging you. But Yelp is a great place to list your business. Yelp is where people will go to make reviews about your business, and Yelp is where you need to be monitoring and responding to any feedback, especially negative feedback that comes in about your business. So you want to make sure that you're, again, in the online directories, you claim your Yelp listing, and you claim your Google My Business listing. Now, with Google My Business, I have created a resource that I've given you a link to below this video that is giving you a Google My Business cheat sheet. And this cheat sheet is important because it gives you a roadmap of what you need to do to optimize your Google My Business listing. Now, Google makes a number of important services available to you for free that really give you no excuse for not handling this correctly and thoroughly. So you get the benefit of Google Places, you get the benefit of Google Maps, you get the benefit of Google Search, etc., and so on. And you want to take advantage of what Google has done because it benefits your business in terms of being found, in terms of coming up in searches, in terms of giving people one-click link access to your website and one-click link access to directions to come and do business with you. And it's important because statistics show that when a person actually searches for a business on Google and they locate one, that the chances are that that person will also visit or do business with that business that day. So just to recap this section, you want to be in the online directories, you want to claim your Yelp business listing or create it, and you want to claim or create your Google My Business listing. And again, in the links below this video, I have given you a cheat sheet for how to have an outline of how to address your Google My Business and optimizing your Google My Business listing. So that's below this video in the link. %91 of consumers actually read online reviews. 84% of people actually trust those reviews and form an opinion about whether they should buy from you or not from those reviews. And so if these reviews influence their decisions to buy and who to buy from, then you can see that it's very important to take care of your Google reviews. A number of ways you can handle that, but you need reviews in order to reduce your marketing costs, because when a person has a positive review or reads a positive review about your business, then they're a much easier conversion for you, that they become more than just a looker, but an actual shopper, a person who does business with you. And when reviews are available for them to gain their confidence, then whether it's a friend or just somebody who's reviewed they trusted, you benefit from that and you get more customers than you could by spending hundreds of dollars in marketing. That's the importance, one of the importance of reviews. Reviews affect how you rank in search engines. Positive reviews help you to beat out your competitors when it comes to Google deciding who's going to rank higher than the next listing. So you want to take care of your reviews. If you happen to have negative reviews, you want to make sure that you respond to them. But the way that you respond to them is very crucial, because you have to remember that when you respond, and you must, to a negative review, that a person observing that, a third party, is going to sit back and watch and see how you handle that. And depending on how you respond to the negative review and how you reach out and try to handle it, is going to help you win over a person who's actually a third party observer who read the negative review and then gets a chance to see how you responded. That is a real opportunity for you to convert more people to say, hey, he had this problem, this person had this problem, made a complaint, and this is how we responded to it. I like this guy. That's what you want to do, and that's why it's important not to ignore reviews, and very important not to go negative or get down on the person's level and start slinging mud back and forth with them, because that way you will certainly lose. There can be no anger in your tone, no anything except an immediate showing that, hey, we're sorry that happened. Let us respond to it right away. Let us fix it. That's how you want to come off in the way you respond to those times when you get negative reviews. And unfortunately, you will get some, just because nobody's perfect. Sometimes people fall off of following your system. Maybe it could be your receptionist. Maybe it could be you yourself. But these things, because people are not perfect, these things can happen. So how you respond to them is very important, and you want to be able to respond to negative reviews quickly and in a way that makes third-party people forgive you for whatever that person may be accusing you of or saying about your business. The last section I'll cover is your website. Your website needs to be an extension of your real-life business. If you have a very warm reception and people feel welcome when they come to your shop, then that's how they need to feel when they come to your website. Because there may be a lot of people who will never walk into your shop, but they need to have a similar experience to the people who actually get to walk into your shop, because maybe they're local and you have a business that doesn't matter. You take local, you take nationwide. whatever. You need to be able to have a consistent experience, and remember that everybody is in the same business, so to speak, in that what we are all selling are experiences. Whatever you sell or whatever you do, there's somebody down the street who can do it too, or maybe even better. And so the question becomes, when it comes to differentiation, how do you deliver it? Is it a warm reception? Is it cold and clinical and standoffish? Whatever that is, that's what you sell. In other words, you sell the experience. For example, I'm a Mercedes-Benz guy. I've had Hyundais, Buicks, Hondas, Pontiacs, all kind of cars, Lincolns, Cadillacs. But what I've learned about automobiles is that any of them can get me from point A to point B. Any of them, from the Escort or Yugo to the Bentley. So it's not so much that what it does, either of them can get me from point A to point B, but the experience of a Mercedes-Benz S-Class is incredible. It's incredible. And so for me, I'm willing to step up and pay the money, not for the car, because any car can take me from point A to point B, but the experience. And so understand that people buy experiences. That's why if you go to an expensive restaurant, even though it was kind of steeper than you usually pay, if you had a great time and everybody with you had a great time, you don't even remember the bill. That's what good experiences do for you. At the same time, negative experiences can also prove to you that what you're out there for, what everybody's out there for, is the experience. It's the experience. So your website should replicate what it's like to do business with you in your store. The experience should transfer from in-store to your website. The experience should be the same. Whatever it is, whether you welcome people, you call them by their first name, you personalize, as close as you can come as possible, you need to make sure that your website is a replica of the experience of doing business with you in person. If you have friendly waitresses in your restaurant or your salon, then your website should incorporate automation, chat bots, or real live chat people, or maybe you have Facebook Messenger installed so that they can quickly interact with a real human being. You want to be able to quickly replicate the welcoming, hey, Barbara, come on in, come on, that kind of thing. Your website needs to be smart, and it needs to be able to deliver a consistent experience across platforms. That experience should transfer from real world to experiencing your website. Give you one example before I leave this point. I was recently dealing with a prospect who had a link on their website that said book appointment. But when you click that button, it took you to another page that had 2 paragraphs, and then below that you finally got to the links to take action. And I said, and when you click the link, it takes you to this third-party website that's taking personal information from you. And it doesn't allow you to collect the information on who's actually visiting your site. So I said, no, this is not the kind of experience you want people to have. If a person wants to book an appointment, let them book an appointment. So when they click that button, let that button take them immediately to a calendar form where they can pick a date, pick a time, and be set. The details you can come with in another step, but to hit the details first before you give the person the option to make the appointment, and for you to collect their data before you send them off to a third-party website is just ridiculous. So what I'm saying to you is that particular person caught a negative review for the very issue that I tried to point out, which is, hey, this booking appointment page, this is confusion. This is friction. It needs to be easy. It needs to be click book an appointment and go straight to a page to book an appointment. Not all these words and paragraphs and different stuff. So make sure that your website is smart. Make sure that it reduces and cuts down on friction and does not create friction that'll make a person actually leave you a negative review out of frustration or just go to your competitor because they don't think your website is smart. And people are very harsh about that. And you have to prepare and plan for that in the building of your website. So these have been my 4 tips that I've covered with you about issues that you can actually cover to make your website and not just your website, but your online presence pop and reach a bigger audience so that you can have a bigger impact. Now, the last 2 issues I'll cover with you related to your website are very important as well. So don't miss this. The one thing you want to do is install tracking on your website. From your Google Analytics account, you want to take your tracking code, install that on your website or have your developer do that. Incorporate your Facebook pixel into your website so that whether people interact with your business on Facebook or whether they find you online in searches, you want to be able to have either Google tracking in place or Facebook pixel in place so that you can track who's coming to see you, how far are they going, what pages are they visiting on your site, so that you set yourself up to remarket to those people later. Meaning how maybe you have yourself gone to a website and started a process, maybe filling out a form or something, and you didn't, or purchasing something and putting it in your shopping cart, but you didn't finish the purchase. Well, then you become a one who, if we have the Facebook pixel installed or the Google Analytics code tracking installed, we're able to remarket to that person. And I know you've seen situations where you've been online, you've done that yourself, almost finished something, forgot about it, and then when you go online again, you see ads for it or reminders or, hey, you never finished, can you want to come back? That's called remarketing. And so when you install tracking, whether it be from Google, which I say both, from Google and from Facebook, the Google Analytics tracking code and the Facebook pixel should be installed on your site just as a standard. And the last tip I would say about your website is that you must install and incorporate a CRM. I personally am partial to HubSpot. I use HubSpot. HubSpot integrates with a lot of different apps to keep you in real time and updated, notified about who's interacting with forums on your website, who do you need to call, who do you need to reach out to, these kinds of things, booking appointments and all that kind of stuff can be seamlessly integrated for you. And so this would be my last crucial tip about succeeding with building and embellishing and strengthening your business's online presence. If you have any questions, refer to the links below the video, and you can always